Hello my 8th grade students of أطفال الرمث النموذجية Academy. How are you today? I hope you're fine. Today we will start with Module 5, page 48. What is the title of this unit? The title is You Can Do It. You Can Do It. Before you start, look at the photographs. What sports are these people doing? Do you know people who do them? So let's start with this picture. Here we have a picture of ice diving. Here we have the picture of another sports like maybe tennis, table tennis. And here, let's start with the next page. The next page, exercise number 1, follow these instructions. Listen to Badriya and Maryam talk about the sports they and their family practice. What is the bossa ball? Who does it? What sport does Maryam do? What sport does she like to watch? What sport does Jamal want to do? When can he do it? Do you want to do any of these sports? Which one? Take down notes. So let's start listening. Please now pay attention. Badriya, and who's this on the trampoline? Why is he upside down? ليش هو upside down? Why is there a ball? Maryam, that's my brother Hakim playing bossa ball. إذا في عنا لعبة اسمها bossa ball جديدة رح نكتشف شو هي الآن. It's a sport invented in Spain. إذا بلشت في إسبانيا. It's like a volleyball on a trampoline with parts of footballs and gymnastics. You can use any part of your body. Hakim is upside down so he can kick it over the net. إذا ليش هو قاعد بشقلب؟ So he can kick it over the net عشان يقدر يرميها فوق النت الطابة. Badriya, how many people do you need? Maryam, you need 3 to 5 players on each team. إذا في كل فريق رح يكون في 3 to 5 players. Hakim is playing with his friends. He says it's fun. بيحكي حكيم هاي اللعبة ممتعة. Badriya, do you play bossa ball? Maryam, never. I like watching it. Though, but I prefer skating and playing tennis. They're less difficult. إذن هي بالنسبة لها بتفضل prefer skating التزلج and playing tennis ولعبة التنس. They're less difficult. بالنسبة لها it's easier. Badriya, my brother Jamal is trying to convince Dad to let him go ice diving to Antarctica. Antarctica اللي هي القارة القطبية الجنوبية. فجمال wants to go there. Look, these are the brochures he brought. جاب معه بروشورات. Maryam, it looks very dangerous. Badriya, that's exactly what Dad said. He said, wait until you're old enough, then you can go. You are too young to go ice diving now. فأبوه رفض إنه يخليه يروح الأنتاركتيكا and he said you're young. Maryam, I don't think he's very happy about it. Badriya, no, he isn't. So now Jamal wants to go rally driving instead. فهو قرر جمال يروح يعمل rally driving سباق الرالي يشارك. الآن بالنسبة للأجوبة وأنا بالبوكس الأزرق. أول سؤال كان عنا What is bossa ball؟ فالجواب bossa ball is like a volleyball but you can use all of your body. Who does it؟ مين بيعمل يلعب bossa ball؟ حكيم اللي هو مريم's brother does it. What sports does مريم do؟ مريم إيش تلعب؟ مريم skates and plays tennis. What sports does she like to watch? She likes to watch بوسة. الآن بالنسبة لسؤال what sports does جمال want to do? جمال wants to go ice diving. When can he do it? متى بيقدر يروح يعمل ice diving? His father will let him do it when he's old enough. لما يكبر بما فيه الكفاية. الآن ننتقل ل exercise number 2 page 49. في عنا كلمات مثل جودو, تنس, table tennis, بوسة, ice diving وفوليبول وهوكي. You can find them on your activity book page 68 and 69. Okay, so you can find them on your activity book in the glossary. Now let's move to the other questions. Exercise number 3. This is a question for you. So بيحكي لك complete the table, then in group ask and answer question about which sports you do, which sports you like to watch, and which sports you think are boring. So this is the question. In this table you can write your own name. Your name, for example, if your name is Noor, write name Noor. Practices, for example, maybe I can do swimming, so I practice swimming. Watch, I watch football. Think is boring, maybe golf or maybe basketball is boring for me. So this is a question for you. You can write your own answer. Move to the next page. You have to play by the rules. لازم تلعب باستخدام الرولز اللي عندك ياهم. Sporty quiz. Here we started with a quiz, with a small quiz. Number 1. Can you play football indoor? هل بتقدر تلعب فوتبول بمكان مغلق؟ طبعا في عنا صالات فيها أماكن مغلقة. So number 1, yes I can. Number 2, can you kick the ball in basketball? باستخدام الباسكتبول هل بتقدر تعمل kick؟ تركل برجلك؟ No, you can't. Number 3, can you use any metals in judo competition? هل بتستخدم المعادن بالجودو بالمصارعة؟ طبعا ممنوع منعا باتا استخدامها فبنحكي no we can't. Number 4, can you hit the ball with your hand in tennis? هل بتقدر ترمي البول بيدك بلعبة التنس؟ No we can't لأنه في عنا racket اللي هو المضرب لازم نستخدمه. Number 5, can you hit the ball over your head in football? Yes you can. تضرب البول براسك، مسموح هذا الاشي بالفوتبول. وآخر وحدة can you use your feet in hockey؟ نحكي no we can't. Exercise number 1. Read about the rules of some games. Do you think these rules will change in the future? Why not? نستمع للrules of some games ونشوف هل ممكن يتغيروا أو لا. Let's start reading. The rules of the game. Football and tennis are both very popular sports and people play them all over the world. What are the rules? Are they the same now as they were when people first played these sports? يلا نشوف الإجابة على هذا السؤال. هل تغيروا هدول الألعاب عبر السنين أو لا؟ Before 1863, not everyone played football with the same rules. Some people picked the ball up and ran with it. In 1863, there were new rules and these rules are used now. بعد هذا التاريخ اتغيرت الrules القوانين. Each team has to have 11 players. You play football on a pitch. هسا اسم ملعب كرة القدم اسمه pitch. اوكي، هذا اسم الملعب. رح نشوف الاسم بيتغير بتغير اللعبة. One player in each team. The goalkeeper has to stand in the goal. بكل لعبة عنا واحد منهم اسمه goalkeeper الحارس. He has to stand in the goal. لازم يضل واقف في مكان الجول. The goalkeeper can pick the ball up and throw or kick it to the players in their team. بيقدر ياخذ الفوتبول ويرميه على البلايرز. The other players have to kick the ball to the other players. طبعا بيمرروا الكرة لبعضهم. You can't touch the ball with your hand. ممنوع تلمسه بيدك. The referee. نحفظ هاي الكلمة referee اللي هو حكم مباراة كرة القدم. The referee watches the game. He makes sure players follow the rules. بيضل بيتأكد إنه اللاعبين متبعين القوانين. People began playing tennis a long time ago. هلأ بلشنا نحكي عن التنس. First, they hit the ball with their hand. بلشوها يلعبوها بأيديهم. Then, they used a glove. بعد هيك بلشوا يستخدموا glove قفاز. Finally, they used rackets. بعدين صاروا يستخدموا المضرب. إذن طورت لعبة التنس أكثر من مرة. You have to play tennis on a court with a net. تلعبوا إذن التنس على الكورت اللي هو الملعب الخاص بالتنس. أوكي. إذن في عنا كلمة court اللي هو الملعب الخاص بالتنس. With a net, you have to hit the ball over the net. With a racket, you have to hit the ball inside the lines. إذا لازم تستخدم بالأول الراكت مضرب. بعدين لازم ترمي الطابة inside the lines جوا الخطوط. You cannot throw the ball. You have to have an umpire. لازم يكون في umpire اللي هو حكم مباراة التنس. وأخيرا عنا you have the umpire decides if a player wins a point. هو اللي بيقرر مين اللي ربح نقطة من النقاط. Exercise number 3 أو let's move to exercise number 1 again. بحكي لك do you think these rules will change in the future؟ طبعا هذا سؤال إليك. Maybe yes, I think. Maybe no, I don't think so. Number 2, read the text again, then answer these questions in pairs. A. How do you think players should behave when there is no referee watching the game? كيف رح يكون أدائهم when there is no referee لما ما يكون في حكم. طبعا they should behave well, they should be good, they shouldn't cheat. فهاي الأشياء كلها لازم تكون حتى لو غاب الحكم. B. Find two differences between the rules of tennis and the rules of football. شو الاختلاف بين rules of tennis and rules of football؟ قوانين التنس طبعا مختلفة عن قوانين الفوتبول. So the answers, maybe you can say tennis is played on a court whereas football is played on a pitch. هذا اسمه court ملعب كرة القدم أو ملعب التنس اسمه court. ملعب الفوتبول اسمه pitch. An umpire watches the game in tennis. بالتنس اسمه umpire الحكم. بينما الريفري الحكم بيشاهد الفوتبول ماتش. To earn a point in football you must kick the ball into the goal. Whereas in tennis you must hit the ball over the net. إذن بيختلف إنه بالفوتبول بنعمل kick ركل بالقدم بينما بالتنس hit نضرب الكرة فوق النت. C. What are the other rules for playing football? إذا متذكرة أي rules ثانيين you can write them down. And then the last question نحكي does this article contain mainly facts or opinions؟ هل هذول القوانين facts حقائق موجودات فعليا or opinions أو رأي الكاتب؟ Give two examples from the text to support your answer. أكيد طبعا this article mainly contain facts. هذول كلهم حقائق including football and tennis are both very popular sports. Before 1863 not everyone played football with the same rules and people began playing tennis a long time ago. هاي كلها حقائق فعليا علمية مش رأي الكاتب. Okay. الآن exercise number 3. Listen to the words below in context. Try to guess their meanings. بإمكاننا بنفس الطريقة نفتح على ال activity book. Okay. Module 5 page 68. منشوف معاني الكلمات من هناك. Okay. Now let's move to the next page. Page 51. Grammar. Have to, don't have to, can or can't. الآن رح نأخذ قاعدة have to, don't have to, can أو can't. Let's see. Can, can't, have to, don't have to. Modal verbs are verbs that can't stand alone in a sentence. إيش هم المودال verbs؟ The verbs that can't stand alone in a sentence. يعني هم دايما بحاجة فعل بعدهم. إذا هم فقط أفعال مساعدة. They must be followed by main verbs اللي هو base form. إذا دائما بعد can, can't, have to, don't have to نضيف base form verb 1 اللي هو. Let's start with can. Can means possible or allowed. مسموح أو ممكن. For example, you can read a book every month. مسموح لك أو بتقدر تقرأ كتاب كل شهر. This is how we use can. معناها possible مسموح أو ممكن. Can't not possible or not allowed مش ممكن ومش مسموح. إذا can't اللي هي باعتبار ممنوع. فبنحكي we can't play outside. The door is locked. ما بنقدر نلعب بالخارج. The door is locked. الباب مغلق. إذا can't معناها ممنوع. can مسموح. can't ممنوع. have to means necessary or obligatory. have to اللي هي ضروري أو إجباري. فبنحكي I have to drive on the right side of the street. أنا لازم أقود السيارة on the right side على الجانب اليمين. This is something I have to do it. شيء أنا مجبور أعمله. can مسموح. can't ممنوع. have to مجبور مش بس مسموح أنت مسموح لك مجبور كمان تعمله. و don't have to not necessary or not obligatory مش ضروري تعملوا هذا الإشي. هسا بالنسبة ل have to تتقسم له إما has to أو have to حسب مفرد أو جمع. فبنحكي he, she, it بعدهم has to و verb 1 I, they, you, we تأخذ have to تأخذ برضو ال verb 1. بينما don't have to تنقسم برضو إلى قسمين. ممكن نستخدم doesn't have to أو don't have to حسب مفرد أو جمع. المفرد بنحكي له he, she, it plus doesn't plus have to وال I, they, you, we plus don't plus have to. نتذكر إنه للمفرد doesn't للجمع don't. إيش الفرق بينهم؟ كان مسموح can't ممنوع have to مجبر تعمله don't have to مش مجبر تعمله. Okay, so let's continue doing the exercises on page 51. Exercise number 1, page 51. Read the sentences and choose the correct words. Check your answers in the text on page 50. Each football team has to or can't have 11 players. طبعا كونوا مجبورين يكون عندهم 11 players فالإجابة الصحيحة راح تكون has to. ليش has to؟ لأنها مفرد. Each football team كل football team. Number 2, you can or can't kick the ball in football. ركل بالرجل can or can't. طبعا نعرف إنه we can do it فالإجابة الصحيحة راح تكون you can. Number 3, I am a referee. I have to or I don't have to watch the match. الريفري طبعا لازم يشاهد المباراة so he have to. بعد هيك number 4 عنا football players have to or can't touch the ball with their hands. طبعا هم ممنوع يمسكوا بإيديهم ف they can't touch the ball. Number 5 tennis players have to or don't have to use a racket. فنحكي الإجابة الصحيحة باستخدام الراكت اللي هو المضرب. طبعا لازم يستخدموا الراكت، أكيد لازم، مش موضوع إجبار أو مش إجبار، هو لازم، مجبرين يستخدموه have to. ونمبر 6 there's an umpire in tennis. He has to or he can't decide if a players win a point. فهي has to، لازم، مجبر أنه يقرر إذا اللاعب فاز أو لا. بنحلهم بهذا الشكل وننتقل ل exercise number 2. Complete the text with the correct form of can or can't. إما بنستخدم can أو can't حسب الجملة عنا. Let's start. Ice diving in Antarctica is becoming very popular. You space do it if you're not well-trained diver. هل أنت بتقدر تعمله إذا أنك مش متدرب أو مستحيل تقدر تعمله إذا أنك مش متدرب؟ طبعا أنت بتحكي عن الآيس دايفنج، السباحة تحت الجليد. So أكيد you can't do it if you're not well-trained diver. نحلها باستخدام can't. Once you are in the water you can see a completely different world. You space dive with seals and penguins. طبعا هلا صرنا نحن بالمي، you can dive ولا you can't dive. كوننا صرنا تحت المي أكيد we can dive. So الإجابة الصحيحة you can dive. You can dive with seals and penguins. You space observe animals from under the surface. هسا أنت صرت تحت المي. You can observe يعني see animals under the surface ولا you can't. كونك تحت المي you can observe animals from under the surface. Or you فراغ كشفش while it's in deep water, deep sleep. إذن السمكة النايمة تحت المي you can ولا can't catch it. أكيد when you are under the surface you can do all of these things. إذن number 3 and 4 نستخدم can. However because ice keeps moving، لأنه الآيس بيضل يتحرك، you فراغ be sure of your final destination، ما رح تتأكد من وجهتك الأخيرة وين أنت أو وين صرت. كونه بيتحرك إذا أنت ما رح تقدر تعرف وين صرت وأنت واقف. So number 5 you can't be sure of your final destination. You might end up miles from your original diving spot. So number 5 we use can't for it. منحلها بهذا الشكل. Now let's move to the next exercise. Exercise number 4. Look at the pictures and use the phrases from box to write school rules using have to, don't have to, can or can't. رح نستخدمهم لنحل هدول التمارين. Number 1 نبلش نقرأ بالبوكس الأصفر بالبداية. Write notes by hand. Number 2 use mobile phone. Study hard. Take books out of the library. طبعا نقدر نعرف من خلال الصورة أي واحدة بيقصد بكل واحدة منهن. لاحظ أنه write notes by hand أنه يكتب ملاحظات، ممكن قاعد بيكتب بهم ملاحظات بس مش باستخدام الهاندز، باستخدام الكمبيوتر اللي هي picture number 2. use mobile phone موجودة تحت عنا picture number 4. study hard number 1. take books out of library number 3. بلش باستخدام you have to study hard. كونوا عنا كلمة study hard you have to study hard. والثانية كتبوها you can't pass exams without studying. مستحيل تقدر تنجح وانت مش دارس. let's do number 2. كيف رح نحل number 2؟ رح نحلها بهذا الشكل. You don't have to write notes by hand. You can use a computer. إذا الثاني باستخدام can. You can use a computer. Number 3 بالنسبة للبنت اللي ماخذ الكتب على اللايبراري على المكتبة نحكي you can take books out of the library. You cannot have to buy them. مش ضروري تشتريهم، بإمكانك تأخذهم من المكتبة. Number 4 you can't use mobile phone. ممنوع استخدامه. طبعا هذا اللي هم حاطينه بالرسمة. You can't use mobile phone. You have to turn them off. لازم تطفيه للتليفون. إذن إجابة number 2 and 3 and 4 you can find it here. Let's move to the next page, page 52. Exercise number 5. Complete the text with the correct forms of have to, don't have to. يعني إما رح نستخدم have to أو has to, don't have to or doesn't have to حسب شو موجود عنا. Winning isn't everything. If you want to be a truly good sportsman, you فراغ behave well all the time. هذا الاشي كونك مجبور تعمله you للجمع. You have to behave well all the time. This is called being a good sport. The most important thing that all sports have to remember لازم يتذكروه اللي هو respect الاحترام, respect for your teammates, for your opponent and for the referee. Good sports accept that you فراغ win all the time. طبعا مش معقول انه يربح طول الوقت. So you don't have to win all the time. And you certainly على الأرجح don't have to cheat, do so. أكيد مش لازم تغش لا تنجح. Good sports never make their teammates or the other team feel bad, and they don't have to make excuses if they don't do well. يعني مش شرط يحكوا ليش أنا ما نجحتش because of كذا كذا كذا. No, they don't have to make excuses. مش لازم يخترعوا الأعذار if they don't do well. Remember that not everyone can be the world's best player, but everyone has to be a good sports. بالنسبة للإجابات here you can find them in bold بالكتاب المظللة. إذن number 1 have to, number 2 have to, number 3 don't have to, number 4 don't have to, number 5 في عنا don't have to كمان, وآخر وحدة number 6 has to. نقولهم على الكتب. Let's move to exercise number 8. Exercise number 8 بيحكي لك listen to the text about Jordanian athlete and use the listening strategies to answer the questions. في عنا الآن listening. النص موجود قدامنا about حسام سليمان. Hussam Suleiman is a young Jordanian athlete from Zarqa who has won several golds and silver medals in Taekwondo in international sports competition. He received a gold medal in the Arab Championship when he was just 17 years old. Hussam knows that winning is not everything. And in order to be a good sportsman, you should always respect your opponents and never try to cause serious injuries. لازم ما تجرح زميلك أو تأذيه إذا بدك تربح أو إذا بدك تكون good sportsman. Hussam is training hard to be able to take part in the Olympic Games. His dream is to win gold medal for Jordan. حلمه إنه يأخذ ميدالية ذهبية بالأردن. الآن بالنسبة له questions, let's go back to the questions. Number 1. What can't a player do to win a game? شو الإشي الممنوع يعمله؟ Try to cause injury إنه يسبب ضرر، أو train hard يتدرب or win a good medal. طبعا الإجابة الصحيحة راح تكون عنا A. Try to cause injury. هذا الإشي الممنوع ينعمل. Number 2, what does حسام have to do to realize his dream? شو لازم يعمل عشان يحقق حلمه؟ طبعا الجواب الصحيح win a gold medal in the Olympic. لازم يربح الميدالية الذهبية. ونمبر 3, what does حسام have to do to be able to practice in the Olympics? شو لازم يعمل عشان يشارك بالأولمبيات؟ He has to train well. إذن C, train well. الآن بآخر exercise number 10 اللي هو over to you. You can write some questions and you can answer them using have to or don't have to, can or can't. For example, do you have to make your bed? Yes, I do. Can you stay up late? No, I can't. بهاي الطريقة رح نجاوب على أسئلة باستخدام have to أو can't. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time إن شاء الله. Bye bye.